Alright, yo, so what is going on, guys? It's your boy BearDog2010. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to be the best healer for wars, PvP, dungeons, solos, whatever you guys want to do. This is going to be a level 60 guide. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. I've been trying to get my build absolutely perfect for you guys, so this video will be 10 times better. So let's get into the video. Drop a like if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright, so I'm sure the first things you guys are going to want me to go over is what weapons I'm using and what abilities I'm using. The only weapon that's going to matter for this build is your primary, which should be the life staff. If your primary weapon isn't the life staff, then you're already doing something wrong. Let's open up my inventory, and I'll show you guys what roles I have and what equipment I'm kind of using to increase my healing ability and etc. So I have the top faction life staff. It is the 525 Covenant life staff. It has 25 focus, blessed, which gives me 25% healing bonus, and has refreshing move, which light and heavy attacks reduce my cooldowns by 2.5%. So first, looking at a life staff, you're going to want to look at how much focus it gives you. The gem, my gem gives me 12% damage and outgoing healing while at full health, which is huge. The tier 5 one gives me 15%. I just only had a tier 4 one right now on my other life staff, so I put this one on. And then you also want to look at Blessed. Blessed is huge. 25% healing bonus is massive. You're doing so much more per heal, per tick, everything like that. That is huge. So when you look for a life staff, especially when you're level 60, if it doesn't have Blessed, it's practically garbage. For my secondary, I have a Great Axe. The only reason I have the Great Axe on is because I like it for movement, and it gives me Constitution and Focus. 8 Constitution and 17 Focus, that's huge for my build. So the next part of this video is super important. Your trinkets and accessories are super important. My necklace gives me Divine, which gives me 8.9% more health when I'm being healed by somebody else, and it gives me 8.5 more overall health, so it adds to my Constitution. That's huge, so I get more health. I do have a better ring than this one, but I used it because it has focus and gear score. Normally I have one that lets me have more output healing, so I heal everybody else a lot more. And then my earrings are just plus 24 focus because I can't find anything else right now that gives good substats and good focus with an okay gear score. Mine's 500 gear score, which is kind of low, but because it has 24 focus, that's the only reason why I still have it on. But accessories are super big and important for your build, so don't slack right there because it definitely does help you in the long run. And for my build, I run max heavy as possible, so I have 20, almost 30 pounds for my heavy armor. I run a medium helmet, but honestly I recommend you guys just run full heavy gear. It's just better. Light and medium don't really give you any healing bonuses, and it doesn't really make a difference if you're going to get hit and focus as a healer in wars. You're going to be dead regardless, so might as well take a hit while you're doing it. I focus as much focus and con as possible on all my gear pieces, even though I have a light chest piece. I need to change that out, but I recommend just running as much heavy gear as possible. It definitely helps with your elemental and physical rating. I just need to change out a couple more pieces. My build isn't complete yet. I still want to get my legendary life staff, a better ring and earrings, and then get everything heavy, and then I'll be good. But right now we're still on the build, we're still on that grind. So this is where the video starts getting really important. Anybody can wear heavy gear, anybody can run certain substats on their weapons. Doesn't mean you're going to be a good healer. It's going to be important where you put your attributes and how you can use the attributes. I have 321 focus. I just do it for all the buffs, and the more healing the better, and the more damage I do on my life staff. And 112 con. I'm trying to get my con up. I really don't care. I have like almost 11,000 hit points. It's hard to kill me as a healer anyways. Alright, so let's get into my skill tree and why I'm using these abilities. You guys feel free to copy this, do whatever, change up whatever you want to do. I use Orbit Protection, Beacon, Sacred Ground. Sacred Ground and Beacon are huge for group healing and AoEs in dungeons and in war, and Outpost Rush. That's huge. Then Orbit Protection is also a huge factor for fortifying your tanks and DPS boys so they don't get killed from everything. For Sacred Ground, it's pretty simple. I went all the way down, picked a couple passives out. You know, light and heavy attacks don't use mana. Orbit Protection, you go all the way down. You use Protected Strength, buff heal. And then Beacon, you go all the way down, 2 passives. A lot of people keep telling me, why don't I use Splash of Light or why don't I use Light's Embrace? I don't like them. Personally, I think they suck. And then they're like, oh, you don't get the super ability. I'm like, it's not necessary. I'm going to pop up a couple leaderboard stats for you guys. My abilities on Outpost Rush and Wars. And you guys are going to see the difference between my healing where I am on the leaderboards, and why. The reason I'm so high on the leaderboards is because I know how to heal people. I know what to do. I am in the perfect position. On this server, I am one of the best healers. I know what it's not even the fact of having the best gear or having the best stats or having the best passives. It's how to heal people. And this is really where I'm going to go in depth with a lot of you guys. It's not going to be super important if you use all of my abilities or you copy my build to the T. It's how you can use the build. So you're going to see a lot of war videos pop up, and pay attention to where I position myself with my allies. You see most of my allies are going to be on the flag or in a fight, and it's to where you position yourself as a healer. You obviously don't want to get yourself focused, but what do you do once you get yourself focused? How do you get out of this situation? How do you continue to heal your group? Normally, when you're in wars and you're trying to position yourself in the best position for healing, you want to go as far out of the way as possible. So for instance, if you're on a flag or your team is on a flag, try to rotate as far out as possible. You'll get focused a lot less. A lot of people who push in wars either push for the flags or they push for your back line. The reason why is because that's where most of the healers sit. What if you sit right in the front line with all the other healers? That's what I do all the time. They seem to overlook you. I don't know why. If you sit in people's front line or even towards the flag more, you're more likely to get less focus and you're doing more healing. And it's all about where you can position yourself. The higher up, the further away sometimes is better. If you're defending on forts, finding that key position to heal people in the main doors is huge. It's huge, and it really, really helps your stats and your ability to heal everybody. Now, of course, none of this really matters unless you have a good build. If you don't know what to do for your healing, or if you're using crappy abilities, then you'll never be able to actually heal anybody. That's why I recommend using Sacred Ground and Beacon. They heal a lot, and Orb of Protection nobody really uses, so it does heal over time. Now, this necessarily doesn't mean you'll be the best healer in the game, but it does take a lot of trial and error. So in wars, let's kind of go over how you can escape being focused. It's not really too difficult. I for sure get focused a lot. If you watch some of my live streams, you'll watch me just get focused by 5 or 6 guys. But it's your ability to get out of being focused or get to where you need to be. You're not a good healer if you sit there in the back line and you just consistently get focused and you're just dying over and over and over. The best kind of healers are the ones that you can kind of escape and continue to heal the big groups on the points. A huge godsend for me is using potions. I don't use food when I go into wars, or I try not to. It's not super important, and it's not going to make you a better healer if you're relying on something that gives you better stats. But it's your ability to use heals. For potions, all I do is run tier 5 infused health pots, mana pots, and regen pots. Other than that, you don't need anything super fancy. At least I don't. But it's your ability to get out of the way. Okay, let's just put up a hypothetical. Hypothetically, if you run out of the fort and you're stuck and you get trapped, try to use your second weapon. Try to use a pot. Keep rolling out of the way. I used to use hatchet just to pop berserk, just so I get that bit of haste and I can heal while running, and it gets me further or faster and further away from them to the point. Or you could use your life staff and you can shoot yourself with the Orb of Protection and Beacon to give yourself that 5 seconds of haste that you could probably stack if they keep hitting you. And Orb of Protection gives you 4 to 5, so you'll stay healed, you can go faster, and you run to the point continuously. You can also use the Great Axe or the Rapier for the movement abilities. Shit, you could even use the Fire Staff if you wanted to get out of it. But the point is to get out of being trapped, to get towards the front line, to get towards the point. You're not going to be a good healer if you're stuck. If you continuously die at the front gate, you're practically just wasting a spot. If you want to be the best healer, you're obviously going to have to trial and error this. This isn't going to be, oh, you watch the video and then you're a god tier healer. That's not how it works. It's going to be a bunch of trial and error. And I promise you, once you find that perfect position in a war to where you can position yourself perfectly, you'll be the best healer possible. You guys can use this build if you want to. You could copy my build exactly. You could spec yourself exactly how I have it, and you could still be a shitty healer. Trial and error this. I promise you, once you figure out certain things, you will be 5 times better. If you guys did learn something from this video, drop a like. If you have any criticism, drop it down in the comments. And if you think I suck, drop a dislike. I really don't care. But that is going to be it for my video. I really don't know what else to put in here. I'm trying to give you guys all my tips and tricks and little secrets. Just go for cooldowns. Just max out your cooldowns as much as possible. Cooldowns are huge for wars. But other than that, have a great day. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm BearDog2010, and I'm out.